Thank you very much for staying with us on Politics Tonight. Let's go to Zamfara State, where Governor Dauda Lawal has returned to the All Progressives Congress APC after leaving the People's Democratic Party PDP. The governor says he left the PDP because of prolonged internal crisis, leadership disagreements, and unresolved structural challenges within the PDP at both the national and state levels. Meanwhile, former governor of the state and Minister of State for Affairs, Dauda Lawal, has welcomed the governor back to the ruling party, describing the development as a positive step while also pledging to support Governor Lawal's political ambition. But what does this latest political realignment mean for Zamfara State, the APC, and the broader political landscape ahead of future elections? To help us unpack the implications of this development, I'm now joined by Dr. Sani Abdullahi Shinkafi, Executive Director, Patriot for Advancement of Peace and Social Development. Dr. Shinkafi, thank you very much for joining me on Politics Tonight.
Okay, thank you for having me. Good evening.
Good evening to you. As a stakeholder in Zamfara State, a proud son of the state, and how do you welcome Governor Dauda Lawal back into the APC? As a last man standing, did you really have a choice?
Yeah, the critical stakeholders in the party, most especially the former governor of Zamfara State, Senator Abdulaziz Yari, and other critical stakeholders, welcome the defection of Dr. Dauda Lawal to our great party, All Progressive Congress, APC. Is a welcome development, is widely celebrated across the state. Most of the stakeholders who are the main operators or who are the main managers of the party, cut across the 14 local government, wholeheartedly welcome the governor into the mainstream of the party. So today, even the deputy governor and other key officials of his government were duly registered as a members of APC in Zamfara State and in Nigeria at large.
All right, Dr. Shinkafi, I mean, from the kind of conversations I've had with APC chieftains in Zamfara State, including yourself, the party had always believed that getting Zamfara into the broom corner would seal the zone for President Tinubu's re-election. And we're also talking about a governor with a reform mindset. You're speaking to me from Zamfara State. What can you hear from people, from the perspective of people on the ground in Zamfara? What is the immediate reaction to this move? Are people seeing it as progress or as another elite political arrangement? What are they saying?
Yeah, I'm not hearing you very well.
Dr. Shinkafi, I know you're speaking to me from Zamfara State, so what can you hear from the perspective of people on the ground? What are they saying? Are they seeing this defection as progress or another elite political rearrangement?
Yeah, the people from the background, most especially people from also PDP and the APC, have welcomed the idea of the governor for defecting from PDP to APC. Looking at the legal implication of what is happening in the PDP, PDP have been in the legal battle for over 1.5 years. They were from Federal High Court to Court of Appeal to Supreme Court on the leadership dispute. So for any serious governor or any aspirant who want to contest for elective position in 2027 will not take unnecessary political risks to stay in PDP, because the panel bust off for any litigation in Nigeria is the Supreme Court, which is the apex court of the land. And the Court of Appeal decided, Judge Justice Omotosho invalidate the National Convention which was conducted in Ibadan. And at the same time, yesterday, the Court of Appeal, Abuja Division, upheld the decision of the lower court, that is the Federal High Court. And looking at also the INEC revised timetable of schedule of activities for the conduct of 2027 general election. If you look at the timetable critically, it is very tight. For an incumbent governor, governor loved by his people, governor who have transformed Zamfara state more than any governor in the history of Zamfara state, have defected to APC. Already he's a member of APC, and he defected to PDP in 2022, and now he's back home. So he's not a new to APC. He just went for political nomadism, and he has now came back home. So we welcome him, and for him to decide to defect to APC, that is the best decision for him. And he's a governor who have worked tremendously to deliver his campaign promises. So also it's a moral booster for Mr. President to win Zamfara State again in 2027. Because in 2023, Mr. President won only Zamfara State and Jigawa State in the Northwest zone. PDP won 4 states, NNPP won 1 state, and APC won 2 states. And with the governor coming back to the party, I think it's a moral booster and also is a big plus. So I'm very confident that Mr. President will win elections and President landslide in 2027 by the grace of God. And also the governor, with all his transformational projects, infrastructure development, human capital development, cut across the 14 local government, the party have a best candidate to fly the flag of the party in 2027 governorship election. No any governorship candidate cut across the other political parties who can beat the record of the governor Dauda Lawal, and no any candidate can challenge him. I bet anybody in 2027, because the record is straight and is self-explanatory and is feasible and also verifiable.
All right, Dr. Shinkafi, he left in 2022, and when he left, I mean, there were a lot of reasons for leaving. He talked about allegations of internal party crisis, disagreements with key stakeholders, and this perceived marginalization. So have those issues been resolved, or are we likely to see same tensions resurfacing?
Yeah, you know, in politics, we have to agree and disagree. And for every political problem, you apply political solution to solve it. So with the disunity in the party, with the fragmentation in the party, and now for governor to join the party, I think all those major parties, because I'm one of the people who has also have a faction in Zamfara State, and our political movement is a one-point Shinkai for the Democratic Front. So we have also a faction within the ranks of APC, but with the entry of the governor, from today henceforth, I hereby collapse my structure and align with the governor, and also to throw my support to the leader of the party, Senator Aziz Ziari. He's not only the leader of the party in Zamfara State, he's the leader of the party in the northern Nigeria, and also at the nation at large.
All right, you just said Senator Abdulaziz Yari is the leader of the party, but now that Governor Dauda Lawal is now in the APC, does he still remain the leader of the party?
Yeah, you see, looking at the constitutionality or the working document in APC, on every political party, a governor is a leader of the party, the state. Whether if a governor
Dr. Shinkafi, are you there? You know, I asked that question because the governor is joining the party after this.
State, only in Zamfara State in the northern Nigeria. Because Mr. President can attest to that he's the only northerner who has come publicly to say it is the turn of Mr. President to northerners to allow him to complete his tenure from now to 2031 because of the power shift in APC. The late Muhammad Buhari of blessed memory is from another extraction. Well, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is from southern extraction. So going by the sharing formula of the party, Mr. President has every right to contest for the election in 2027 based on that gentleman agreement. So Abdulaziz Yari is not only the leader of the party in the state, we can call out Ziyari is a great leader or is a grand patron of the party in Zamfara State because he shouldered a lot of responsibilities. He was his rallying point in the state, and we're very proud of him.
All right.
And he's a peacemaker in the party.
Dr. Shinkafa, this is interesting because the governor is joining the party after the state chapter has conducted its ward and local government congresses across the 14 local governments and over 100 political wards. And we know what this means. If this Congress stands, it means the governor does not have the structure of the state at his beck and call, which indirectly or directly has its own implications. Second, former Governor Bello Matawalle has also welcomed Governor Lawal back into the party and also pledged support for his ambition. And on this program, I've spoken with both camps. I could feel how intense the rivalry is or was and how they made it look. And this trade blame that has gone on for almost 3 years. So with this latest development, is this how significant is this endorsement, and can the two camps genuinely work together?
Yeah, you see the world congresses and the local government congresses have taken place.
Yes.
But with the defection of the governor into APC, the national leadership of the party have now decided to dissolve all that congresses and allow the governor to come in and share the structures. Because the governor cannot come and just join the party, and he will not have anybody in the mainstream of the party in the state. So the national leadership of the party, the constitution of the party have mandated the National Working Committee to run the day-to-day activities of the party. And every political party has its own internal party mechanism, how it operates. So based on that, the national chairman of the party have dissolved all the ESCO which were elected in that Congress, in the World Congress and Local Government Congress, and also the State Congress has been stayed on hold, has been postponed to allow the governor to come and register as a member of the party, and also now the national leadership of the party will now fix another date for World Congress, for Local Government Congress, and for State Congress. So the leadership of the party have to do that in fairness to the governor and for everybody to have free playing field. So the issue of the former Governor Bello Matawalle, he has no option. If the governor have decided to join the party, no matter what differences you have, you must bury it. And in politics, everybody know the doctrine of politics. There is no permanent friend and no permanent enemy, but permanent interest. And in the best interest of Mr. President, Governor Dauda Lawal defected to APC because he's the only man standing. All the Northwest zone, all the governors in the Northwest, 6 of them have defected to APC. He's the only one man standing. So for him to join, now APC is one family in the Northwest. So we're good to go.
All right.
And we're the most populated region. We are the also region that gave Mr. President highest numbers of votes during the 2023 election. And during the also national convention, Northwest region was the zone that even produced Mr. President as a candidate of the party in 2023 presidential election, and also the national convention at Eagle Square. So we're good to go, and the governor, we welcome him, and I urge all the members of the party to unite with the governor and see how we can make progress in the future elections.
All right. In addition to that, Dr. Shinkafi, I hear there is a power sharing arrangement being worked out between Governor Lawal's camp and the Yari Matawalle team. Some say Governor Lawal would hold or reserve 40% elective positions in the party, while the lion's share goes to the Yari Matawalle corner. But before coming on air, I had a brief conversation with the governor's spokesperson, Suleiman Bala, and what he confirmed to me is that it's the same sharing formula in Kano State, where the governor holds 60% and DSP Barao, former Governor Ganduje, share 40%. And some of these arrangements look good on paper, but would such arrangements not throw up old animosities when it comes to the nomination of candidates, especially for House of Assembly elections.
As I have said in politics, yeah, you see, as I have said earlier, the governor is the leader of the party in the state. Yari is the grand patron. Nobody can make any meaningful outing politically in Zamfara without Abdulaziz Yari. I bet it too, and I challenge anybody. Dauda Lawal, he's a governor. He has done tremendously very well in terms of infrastructural development in the state. So that one will also be a contributing factor that will now help him to win election in the 2027 election. On the issue of the power or the sharing formula, in Kano State, they apply 60-40, and sometimes, I think when some of them complain, they apply 50-50.
Okay.
Anyway, anyhow they do it, people like us will not work for Dauda, but we work for APC. We are going to make sure that APC win election in Zamfara State, irrespective of our political differences. A lot of people have grudges. A lot of people have been hurted. People like me have been hurted. My life was threatened for numbers of times. Even a failed assassination attempt on me because of I declared my intention to run for governor. Now the sitting governor have emerged. So the case is closed. All of us must bury our differences and embrace peace. You see how
But at the end of the day, all right, at the end of the day, Dr. Shinkafi, what do you think would work for states like Zamfara State? Is it 60-40, whichever sides own that, or is it 50-50, just like you said, is happening in Kano State?
Yeah, you see, let me tell you, sharing political offices or political or positions, that is the state executive or local government executive or what executive, does not even matter in an election.
All right,
the most important thing, how sellable the candidate is.
All right.
You understand? And the most important thing, how are you going to champion the blueprint of the governor and what the governor have done?
Okay.
To seek for second term. So when Dauda Lawal joined PDP, he doesn't have even one executive, and he won election landslide.
Okay.
In 2023, he doesn't have one ward executive. Talk less of a state chairman or local government chairman or this thing. He doesn't even know his ward chairman or local government chairman. It was later when he emerged as the candidate of the party, he now started contacting the executives preparation for his campaign. So there's no, it's not a big deal whether you have 80% or 20% or all Yari, Wambanshin, Kabi, Jaji, Matole took 80% and leave with governor with 20%. It doesn't mean anything. If you look at the total number of the executive, it's not up to 0.5% of the total number of registered voters in Zamfara State.
All right, Dr. Shinkafi, let's take a break. And when we return, we'll talk about the impact of this defection on the security situation in Zamfara State. Please stay with us, everyone. Thank you very much for staying with us on Politics Tonight. Governor of Zamfara State, Dauda Lawal, is APC's 31st governor, swelling up the number of governors in the camp of the ruling party. Clearly, we all know why the governor has defected, but what is the impact of this on governance and security in Zamfara State? I've been speaking with Dr. Sani Abdullahi Shinkafi, Executive Director, Patriot for Advancement of Peace and Social Development. Dr. Shinkafi, thank you very much for staying with us on the program. And I mean, everything you said in the first half of the program clearly tells us the significance of this defection. But overall, what is the impact, or what impact would this have on the security situation in Zamfara State, especially with former Governor Bello Matawalle welcoming the governor into the APC, and also, you know, is the Minister of State for Defense? What is the overall impact of this?
Yeah, you see, when we're talking of security situation in Zamfara State, we're not talking of the Minister of State for Defense. he doesn't have any meaningful impact in terms of the fight against insecurity in Zamfara state. Mr. President is the commander-in-chief armed forces, and the governor is the chief security officer of the state. Now, governor have now defected to APC. He will now have an upper hand to reach out to Mr. President as a member of his party and complain the security situation in the state. Because before he was in the opposition and is in the opposition, but now he has now connected to the center. For him to connect to the government at the center, now he will have an upper hand in terms of seeking for some government favors to help the state in the fight against insecurity. Because many states which are not a member, which are not who are not members of APC, have complained of this thing, impartiality on the part of the federal government. So even the governor Dauda Lawal have complained that some governors who are governors of APC were given palliative of 500 billion. But him, when as a governor of PDP, he has not gotten even a penny, except his monthly statutory allocation. For him now to connect to the center, I think he's good to go. And with the present security situation, I know Mr. President will help to make sure that the serious fight against insecurity in the state. We need more deployment of military personnel because the security personnel are understaffed, under-financed, under-equipped, and under-trained. So there's need for Mr. President to also deploy more security to Zamfara State to fight this insecurity once and for all. Zamfara State is the epicenter of banditry, kidnapping, forensic, and other form of criminality, cattle rustling. But since the governor have now joined the mainstream of the party, I think all hands will be on deck to make sure that we support him, to make sure that he fight this insecurity. He has to apply on his own part. He has to apply homegrown solution, fight against poverty, educational development, forestry of the border. So there's a lot of things even the governor has to do on his own part.
We'll come back to what the governor must do, especially as he aligns with the ruling party. But I mean, earlier on, you just tried to reduce the influence of Minister Bello Matawali. I mean, some say he's the former governor of the state and now Minister of State for Defense. Expectedly, this political alignment should reduce what they call bureaucratic delays that previously slowed security responses. What do you have to say to that?
Yeah, you see, the Minister of State Dr.
Shinkafi?
The Navy and the senior minister Christopher Musa oversee Air Force and the Nigerian Army. So we need the senior minister more here in Zamfara State than the Minister of State for Defense. Because the senior minister is the one who is in charge of Army, he's in charge of airports. So he will have some meaningful impact. Happen also being from the Northwest region. He's from Kaduna State, Christopher Musa. And Kaduna State also have been dealing with this issue of insecurity for the past 1 decade. So I think the state, we need the Minister of State for Defense as a member of Federal Executive Council representing Zamfara State. But in terms of deployment of the security, I think he has nothing to contribute.
I mean, I'm sure some people watching would disagree with you, but I mean, just to learn from, as a matter of this conversation, you're a security expert. Is there anything like senior minister? Is there anything like junior minister? I mean, what I've heard from people is both are ministers, but with different jurisdiction. How do you explain senior minister and then junior minister?
Yeah, you see, the senior minister is the one who is in charge of Nigerian Army. Is the one in charge of airports. And the senior minister is a retired Army general. And he has a versatile experience on counter-terrorism and other form of to fight criminality. He has a military background. And also going by his track record, going by his CB, his profile, he has a very rich CB. He has served in the Nigerian military for over 35 years. Somebody who has held the highest rank of the Nigerian army or military, chief of defense staff. I think the issue of this even being a senior minister is self-explanatory. The junior minister has his own schedule. He's in charge of DICON, he's in charge of military pension board, he's in charge of military health scheme, and he's in charge of Nigerian Navy and DIA. So all their schedule of duty were clearly spelled out in their schedule of work, of activities. So the senior minister, the junior minister deputized for the senior minister in the absence of the senior minister. That is how it is in the organizational structure of the ministers in the ministry.
Okay. I mean, tonight you said with this realignment, political realignment, Governor Dauda Lawal can now walk up to President Bola Tinubu to narrate his ordeal as related to Zamfara state security situation. But what are the main risks that could, undermine security improvements despite this political and federal alignments?
Yeah, you see, before some political observers, even on the rank of the PDP, were suspecting some of the big politicians who are very close or who are in the corridor of power from Zamfara state have been sabotaging the effort of the governor because he's from the opposition. But now he has joined our party, APC. And the party control the center, the federal government. So for him being a member of APC, for him being a governor, I think that will be he will have an easier access. Sometimes if you book an appointment, you want to see Mr. President. Sometimes some people who play around, who walk around the villa on the corridor of power will go and block the appointment. But now for him being in the mainstream of the party, I think all those sabotage, Mr. President will not allow such sabotage, or those who are working within the villa will not allow such sabotage.
All right.
So we have suspected there's a lot of political undertone on some things happening in terms of the federal government to throw its weight behind the governor because it's from opposition party.
All right then. Dr. Shikavi, let's go back to politics, national politics as we speak. 31 governors now with the APC. And, if you're looking beyond the power struggle, we all know why a strong opposition party is crucial for Nigeria's democracy. And if you're watching the political landscape, APC seems very ready. And this is not to give credit to the party. The party seems very ready. And, I mean, we already know who the presidential candidate will be. But if you look at the opposition parties, can you hold on, sir? Please hold on, sir. If you look at the opposition parties, still grappling with a lot of issues, still organizing press conferences. What would you say is wrong with, let's pick the parties one after another, what would you say is wrong with a party like the PDP?
You see, the APC having 31 governors in the party, it will be a moral booster, also to help in the recruitment and mobilization of the party membership. But
Dr. Shikafi, but what? All right. Dr. Abdullah Shikafi, can you hear me?
Mobilization. Yeah.
All right. Please go on. We lost you for a second.
I said the APC having 31 governors is a big plus in terms of recruitment of the membership and mobilization of the electorate to vote in 2027 general election. But having numbers of governors also cannot be a determining factor in deciding who will win election, because it depends on your performance. Whether you're a governor, if you have not performed very well, then you may likely lose election. But for the party to have more governors, a big flaws to the party, but the governors also should make sure that they go back and look at their scorecard, whether they have performed very well.
So I was asking.
And in the terms of the opposition,
yes.
And in terms of the opposition political party, the most of this problem is an internal party wranglings. It is not from the APC. APC are not the ones sponsoring the party crisis. So the members of the opposition are the architect of their problem.
But for a party like the PDP, a party that once boasted it will rule Nigeria for 60 years, are you on the side of those who say the main leadership failures that accelerated the collapse or the disintegration of the party is a Wike Atiku issue?
Yeah, because you see, during that PDP National Convention, Wike lost election, lost in the national convention. So what Wike should supposed to do as a gentleman or as a good politician should embrace Atiku and work for the party. But he decided to part away from the party and created a faction and continue fighting Atiku up to the last.
And he worked for your party. Dr. Shinkafi, he worked for your party. No, he worked
for our party. Yes, you know, he worked for our party, and it was also to our advantage. But in terms of saying the truth, whether he worked for the party or for APC as a party, what we are saying, he was swallowed by his ambition, because he was so ambitious to be the presidential candidate of PDP. Whenever you lose an election, let's say now I have bought a form to aspire for office of governor in 2027 against Dr. Dauda Lawal. If in a civilized society, when I lost primaries, I left with no option than to embrace Governor Dauda Lawal and work as a team to make sure that the party win election. So that is what Wike should do, whether he works against PDP in the favor of my party APC. But this, I'm saying the truth.
I get you, but so what would you say about the ADC? The party has few influential names, and they're out there bent on sending the APC out of power in 2027. What kind of strategy would you say the ADC needs to adopt to become a significant player in 2027, or is it too late for the party?
Yeah, you see what is happening in ADC also. If care is not taken, it will be the same like PDP, because there are too many presidential aspirants who has been obsessed. They were so obsessed by their presidential ambition. So some of them, if they are not patient, if they are not committed to the party norms and value, if they lost the primaries, they may likely work as like what Wike did to PDP. So most of the some politicians have been obsessed with their ambition. So because of that desperation, they work against their party, and the party will lose elections. So that is what is in ADC. There's too many presidential aspirants from the southern part of the Nigeria and from the northern extraction. And most of the southern frontliners have disagreed with Atiku, saying that it is the turn of the southern part of Nigeria to produce president. And if Atiku emerges as a candidate of the party, then the southern part of the country will be marginalized. So that is what they are saying. And also some of them are saying age is not on the side of Atiku. It's more than 80-something years. And Peter Obi, Rotimi Amechi are in the mid-60s. And Emeka Nwajuba, any of them who want to aspire for on the platform of ADC are not up to 70 years.
So are you suggesting that ADC is dead on arrival?
No, I'll not say. Okay. I cannot say, but time will tell.
All right then. Before I take you up on national security quickly, and this is about your party, how would you rate or assess the preparedness, or rather, let me reframe the question. Would you say APC governors have done well in consolidating the efforts of Mr. President in revitalizing the economy of this country?
Yeah, I cannot say all the governors have done well, the 31 governors, but I can say 2/3 of the governors have done extremely good.
Is that good for your party ahead of? Is that good for your party ahead of 2027 elections?
Let me say it authoritatively that the governor of my state, Governor Dauda Lawal, have done tremendously in terms of infrastructural development cut across the portion local government. His projects are feasible and physical and verifiable. Most of the APC governors have done very well. Malam Upasani have done very well, and also the governor of Kano State and many others. Even in the southern part of the country, most of the governors have done extremely good.
So who are the ones that are yet to impress you? Who are the ones that are yet to impress you?
You say what?
Who are the governors that are yet to impress you?
Most of the governors, I know, I travel a lot. On some southern part of the country, even in the east, some of them have not performed very well, but you can say they are fairly good.
Give us names now, Dr. Shinkafi.
Maybe part of the northern Nigeria, because some of them are not doing well. Let me put it very clear. Some are not doing well.
Okay. All right. So what more do they need to do?
No, they have to go back to drawing board. If they were re-elected back to their position as a governors, they should rule with the fear of God and also look at the party.
All right. Now, let's shift away from politics. Let's talk about national security. This is me quoting the new IGP. It says state police has come to stay, says IGP Tunji Disu. And according to him, police view the concept as a partnership opportunity. So as we speak, there is a committee in place to oversee the implementation of state police. Dr. Shinkafi, are we on the right track? Dr. Shinkafi, are you there? All right. We seem to be having some signal issue, but it's important to also say that Dr. Shinkafi is a security expert, an APC chieftain in Zamfara State, and also the executive director, Patriot for Advancement of Peace and Social Development. And it's, expectedly in the last few seconds or minutes of the show, it's important to take him up on some security issues. Dr. Shinkafi, if you can hear me, I want us to talk about national security. Having listened to the new IGP, it says state police has come to stay, IGP Tunji Disu. And according to him, the police view this concept as a partnership opportunity. There's a committee in place to, to oversee the implementation of the state police. So are we on track? Is this good for us? Are we ripe? Is this the conversation we must begin to have? Dr. Shinkafi. All right. Let's take a break, everyone. And when we return, we'll continue this conversation. Please stay with us everywhere.